Hello everyone, it's Refresh, and I'm here to take a look at Arcane Tinmen's board game sleeves, size small, for cards measuring up to 44 by 68 millimeters. According to the back of the package, that includes games like Settlers, Dimension, and Camel Up. There's also a handy little guide here to see if the card that you're looking at will fit the sleeve, and to that end I have one Ticket to Ride card, and let's see if it fits. According to the package, this is the exact size. These cards are also known as mini European size. This package contains clear sleeves, and you can purchase one of these packages for $3.99 MSRP. That is for 100 sleeves, and that would average to approximately 4 cents per sleeve. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside. As with the other Arcane Tinmen sleeves, these are semi-glossy and smooth on both sides. Let's see if all 100 sleeves are here. That's exactly 100 sleeves. And now let's see what the approximate thickness these sleeves are. It is 1.6 centimeters for a pack of 100, so that means that each sleeve is 160 microns thick, or 80 microns per face, as is standard for Arcane Tinmen sleeves. Let's check the dimensions. These are 46 millimeters wide by 72 millimeters tall. Now let's see how a card fits. So it looks like a Ticket to Ride mini Euro card fits just fine. There's only a tiny bit of play on the sides, and there is an extra amount of space between the top edge of the card and the opening of the sleeve. But aside from that, it looks like it is a good fit. Okay, now for the sleeving test, I will sleeve these 45 Ticket to Ride cards in 45 of these sleeves and see how long it takes. Ready, set, go. That took 2 minutes and 20 seconds, which is about 3.11 seconds per sleeve. Overall, the sleeving process felt fine. There were a few times where I would grab these sleeves and I'd pick up multiples at the same time, but it didn't happen too often. The process might have felt a little slow at times just because the sleeves are so tight on the sides that there wasn't a lot of wiggle room, so you really had to be precise when you were putting the card in the sleeve. But other than that, I felt like the sleeving process was just fine. Now that the cards have been sleeved, let's take a look at their uniformity. Overall, the sides are quite uniform. There doesn't seem to be any differentiation in terms of their width. The tops feel just a little less uniform. If you run your thumbs across the top, then you will feel that some of the sleeves are just very, very slightly taller or shorter than others, but it is really mild. You can't even really tell from looking at it from the side that there is any significant difference between the heights of the sleeves. And so, for the most part, I would consider this a successfully consistent out-of-the-pack batch of sleeves. I did notice in the sleeving process that some of the sleeves came with dents already on them, so these aren't the most pristine out of the package, but it could be a lot worse, and it has been with other sleeves, so I'm not going to hold it too much against it, especially since most of the sleeves don't seem to have these dents, but some of them do. Okay, next is the shuffle test. I'm going to shuffle these sleeved cards 100 times and see how long it takes. Ready, set, go. Okay, it took 1 minute and 48 seconds to shuffle these cards 100 times, and that is a pretty swift speed of approximately 1.08 seconds per shuffle. Overall, I felt like the shuffling process felt quite smooth. There were times where I was probably a bit more overzealous in trying to pick up speed, that the cards wouldn't stay in my hands, And there are a few times where the cards did bounce a little, but for the most part, the shuffle feel was quite good for these sleeves. Now that we have handled these sleeves a bit, let's take a look at how the sleeves fared. Okay, it looks like there isn't any really particularly noticeable wear or bent corners with these sleeves, so that's a really positive sign. The sleeves did exhibit a little bit of denting here and there, but for the most part that doesn't seem to be that much more than what I experienced from the sleeves right out of the package. So I feel like these sleeves are going to be fairly durable, probably on par with the other Arcane Tinmen sleeves that you can purchase, and I don't really have any concerns about any particular deficiencies in the long-term durability of these sleeves in regular use. Now for the shake test, I have a deck of 45 sleeved cards here. I'm going to shake the table it's on for about 2 seconds and see how the deck holds up. Ready, set, go. Okay, it looked like it started sliding, and perhaps with a bit more effort it could be made to come down, but for the most part I think it held together fine, and I think the average bump to the table is not going to cause any problems for this deck, despite the fact that there is a clear accordion effect going on with these sleeves. That is a pass for the shake test. Now for the draw test, I'll be drawing 3 cards off the top of this deck and see if the deck will be stable in that process. Okay, the deck did shift a little as I was drawing cards, but for the most part, I don't think it's going to cause the deck to collapse when I am drawing cards off the top of it. I do think that perhaps in the process, if you would knock the deck, it might fall over, but that's not going to be a common occurrence, I don't think. Whoa, unless you're, goofy-handed like me. So that would be a pass for the draw test as well. I have to say I am pretty pleased with these sleeves. I think the detractions of the sleeve are primarily in the fact that they don't come out of the package pristine. Some of them had some denting in them, and not every corner comes out perfectly straight, as you can see with some of these sleeves. Some of them will come pre-bent, and that can result perhaps in a greater chance of corners catching while you are mash shuffling. But outside of that, I feel like the sleeves are quite good. They handle very well. They are a bit thinner than the average thick sleeve, but even though they are a bit thinner, they're still fairly rigid. The particular caveats that these sleeves will have is that some of you won't like the fact that you can really see a lot of the top edge of the sleeve because there's a bit of distance between the opening of the sleeve and the top edge of the card, and some of you will appreciate that because that means that there's greater distance that something will have to travel from the opening of the sleeve to reach the top edge of the card. So greater protection at a trade-off of a slightly less aesthetically pleasing look. These sleeves are also semi-glossy. I've in the past referred to these as matte, but they are still somewhat glossy, that they do reflect light, but they just don't reflect them as much as a lot of the other sleeves that are sold for board games, and so I would call them semi-glossy. The semi-gloss nature of the sleeves, I think, also contributes to their ease of handling, and so I really like how easily these sleeves shuffle compared to a lot of other sleeves. And those of you who value shuffling speed are going to be interested in these particular sleeves. I think if you're in the market for sleeves and you don't want glossy sleeves, these semi-glossy sleeves are going to be your only choice. And for the rest of you, these are still a pretty good option if you can find them. If this video was helpful to you, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more such videos, hit subscribe. I have a survey in the description box below that you can click on, and if you have any considerable experience with these sleeves or any other mini European sleeves, you can share how consistent you felt that they were from pack to pack, as well as how durable they are overall. Thanks for watching. This was Refresh, and I will see you next time.